Okay, it's Bob Frizzell, and the question that we've been given to consider is earlier today when I was in the parking lot doing one of these videos, someone came up to me in the middle of the video, and the actor that was acting at the time basically screamed profanity at the person and said, "Can't you see I'm in the middle of doing something? And, can't you wait until I'm done my whatever I'm doing with the phone before you bother me?" And we consider that in human terms a major overreaction. And what else can we tell you? Well, the question is, why was there a major reaction? You had in the video, mostly it was that explanation. I'm in the middle of doing something. It's my thing that I'm in the moment. And what were they looking for? They were looking for a cigarette lighter. It was such a minor thing. So why did the actor fly off the handle? I mean, this person is not really anything other than somebody just passerby. Why did they get screamed at profanity? We wondered, well, to higher dimensionals, these theoretical people who are running the show here on planet Earth, did they feel like this woman was a pest? But the point is, the higher dimensionals also run this woman. So why did this woman get chewed out for a simple request? And the answer is, best of our knowledge, we can't figure out. So you're going to blame the actor who's coming through this body who overreacted and acted like, a lunatic or something. The point of the matter is, upon review, if we're a referee, we say, okay, well, who is feeding the script to this body when the actor, whoever the actor is, I mean, you look at it and you say, well, it's you. No, there's multiple characters that come through, believe it or not. I mean, you think it's a comedy channel, but from my perspective, it is a multidimensional channel, and there are multiple characters that come through, and the characters themselves feel like they are being fed the lines from somewhere else. And somewhere else, they decided that there was going to be this huge overreaction in the middle of the video. What is the purpose of this? We think it's mean-spirited. We think it serves no purpose. It basically makes the planet very mean. And we keep wondering, okay, well, what is the source? Most people say the source is this body mind complex. And we tell you time and again, no, it's not. Some people say it's source. I'm going to say there's many, many source fields, and whatever one we're connected to, was it distorted, and did it come through? Who distorted it? We also talked about the fact that we were dealing with the presence of what we were calling demonics, who were also involved in the scene. So is it the distortion of the highly negative demonics? The answer is yes. And what is the other answer? The other answer is, in the moment, that's what came out. And if you are an actor and you're exploring, it's called discovery. Usually you're with other actors, but the other actors are hidden actors, the spirit guides, or, whatever you want to call them. So there are other characters that are in the scene, even though they're not visible to the camera. And that's what happened in that scene. I mean, that the whole thing is a scene. And if you start considering that you're in your own life, you go through a number of scenes every day. You've got your getting up out of bed scene, you've got your shaving scene, you've got your making breakfast scene, you're talking to whoever else is in your house scene, you've got your drive to work scene, you've got your various scenes that happen during the day, at your work time, etc., etc. These are all scenes. Are they always the same every day? No, you might see the same people in your life. Those are also known as actors in this reality game. And that's just the way it came out. And judgment is saying the way that particular character acted was mean-spirited and self-absorbed. So that's what we want to put out there. Are you being mean-spirited and self-absorbed? I would say, from our perspective, we can't tell who runs your particular, the words that come out of your mouth, your reactions. For us, it is not known. It's a mystery. It's like a black box. If you're doing software, it's called black box texting. No, black box testing. If you're a quality assurance kind of person, you don't know what they've programmed in the computer. You're just testing it to see if it's doing its functionality properly. In our case, our quality assurance is basically going back and reviewing the file and looking and seeing, how this human character filming a video on the smartphone reacted, and our conclusion was it was really nasty. The thing is, in the moment, that's what came up for the actor, and that's what the actor did. I think I'm going around in circles. Okay, this is a black hat. Earlier today we said it was Dakota, which is like Lakota, which is indigenous wisdom. I don't have anything on indigenous wisdom, but I'm going to give it as a black hat, which is sort of another critical eye. And I'm going to say, from a critical eye, if this was a movie you were watching, what would you say? Well, if you'd stood there all day, did this other person hanging outside the beer store bother a lot of people? And at some point, did some people say, look, I'm not going to buy you beer? Because, the person didn't look like they had any money. And then then the other side of the street is, what is your responsibility to street people? I always think, well, you should be kind, but at the same token, there's too many street people for any one person to constantly be, here's $20, here's $20. People don't have it, and, we don't have it. But something as simple as a request for a lighter is like, you shouldn't be screamed at, So, what am I supposed to go back and find that girl who was playing the part of herself? I can't. All I can tell you is, for the reality game, this is for you to watch and evaluate your own ego in light of what you've seen. If you saw that video, it's basically today's videos. And, where do you overreact? Do you have the ability to stop yourself from overreacting? This actor does not, because it is a direct feed from wherever it's coming from. And I know it sounds like a cop-out, because from a human scene, it sure sounds like a cop-out. Okay, this is a different character. Someone else who's wearing this kind of a hat. It looks kind of like an up arrow. Okay, so this person is going to comment and say, irregardless of whatever happened, I think it was just another scene in the shit show of planet Earth. And we all seem to get chewed out for, things that are so minor. And this person wearing a different hat says, well, if I was watching it in the movie, it's like I see this happen usually. And the people that are, really high-strung people are the ones that are likely to snap like this. Or they have been in a pressure cooker all day. And, you don't know what the person has been through, the person talking on the cell phone. You don't know who they've been dealing with and what kind of energy fields they've been in. And if they've been under intense pressure and, they're basically at the point they're ready to snap, maybe you can't tell, just looking at them. But the common courtesy thing it keeps coming back. If someone is in the middle of doing something and you don't know the person, and you just want a simple request, the common courtesy is to let the person finish whatever they're doing and look like they're, in between, betwixt and between, so you're not being a pest. But if you're getting somebody, if it was a police officer who was doing their duty, they were, they'd pulled somebody over and they were doing their duty, and you wanted a cigarette, would you go up to the police officer who's in the middle of a roadside check and say, by the way, officer, I know you're busy, but can you give me a cigarette? No, you wouldn't, unless you're a complete idiot. So why is it different? You wouldn't do that to a police officer, but you would do that to some random stranger.
I'm Yoshi. As you can tell, I'm kind of a video game character. Once in a while, I get the feeling that humans are under intense pressure all the time. Why?
Okay, it's me, Bob Frizzell, again with my hat on backwards. I'm not going to be able to explain anything more than what I've given you today. And if you keep following my videos, you will come to the conclusion that the reality game that we portray is an instant reflection of what's going on in your world. The world that we live in is holographic. And it is also, as Greg Braden, the spiritual commentator, says, it is I think he calls it a divine mirror of whatever you're experiencing. So if you see something in one of our videos, it's a divine mirror for you to look at and to say, where is this kind of situation happening in my life? That's all I got. You can look up Greg Braden. He's on YouTube.